Hello, I'm Alex Johnson, and today I'll be presenting my picture that I found for the visual rhetorical analysis, and this one is going to be based off of globalization versus localism. So this is the picture that I've chosen. Um, so a little bit of background on the picture. So it was created by an Italian artist named Enrico Bertisioli. He's been making a lot of political cartoons that he posts mostly online and on forums that a lot of people can find. And also, his cartoon was used in a German publication talking about outsourcing. So, going straight into the visuals. So, obviously, you have the really big fighter on the left side, that is globalism. In the middle, you have the referee. On the right side, you have the smaller fighter who is localism. I think the reason why globalization is really this really big guy is because it's supposed to represent that in real life, globalization is like this really big force that has a lot of power and is almost unstoppable in a sense. Um, the referee, I think, represents politicians or people who have a lot of power on the global scale because he's pointing towards globalization and he's like, hey, I like this guy because he's probably going to win and I like the way he works. Um, and then localism, on the hand, is this smaller guy, a little bit more scrawny, which represents the fact that localism has a disadvantage against globalization. Uh, the silhouettes in the background, I believe that's just like a sea of people. They're people that are in the world that are watching this fight between globalization and localism, even happening in real life. And the boxing ring itself, I think, represents the fact that localism has to fight globalization. There's no running, and he has to fight globalization no matter what. So for the text, there's only a handful of text. So the obvious one that says what the referee is saying, he says, "I want a regular match, okay?" Well, obviously it's not really much of a regular match. This guy, it's like a featherweight fighting a heavyweight champion or something like that. So it is obviously not fair. It's not a fair fight between globalization and localism, and it's pretty obvious who the winners are going to be. And also, the fighters also labeled globalization and localism. And lastly, for the color that's in the picture here, so the fighters are fighting on a ring that is colored green, like the floor's colored green, which I think represents the earth in which they're fighting on. And like I said earlier, the crowd is blue, which represents the oceans that surround the earth and that are the sea of people watching the fight go down between globalization and localism. And well, I also noticed the lightning bolt shorts that Globalization was wearing, and well, me being the history nerd that I am, this is like, I guess you can say, a war between these two fighters. And what goes with war and lightning? Well, Blitzkrieg, the lightning war. So I think that represents the fact that Globalization is almost going to do like a Blitzkrieg, like he is unstoppable. There is nothing that's going to stop him, and he's going to go basically destroy localism very quickly and with the least amount of problems. So that's my interpretation about the lightning shorts and then with globalization.